I had one job to do, is unmute myself. Can you guys hear me now? That's crazy. I forgot to unmute myself. Thank you everyone for coming today. I will, Tammy, I will look at my email later when I get done. But thank you all for coming today. I think what I'm going to do first, I'm going to read out of this beautiful book. Whoever sent this to me. Hi, June Hanson. Thank you for coming. Hi, James Hall. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Ed at Whistle Stop Homestead, for coming. And Karma at Lewis Acre Farms. Karma. I don't know why I say farms, it's farm. And there's Troy Sutton. We've also got R plus B, which is Bonnie. And let's see, is that it? Yes, that's it. Thank you all for coming today. Last week I was trying to finish the blanket. And you guys already know that I have finished the blanket. It is back here. There we go. Yeah. It's sitting over there. I'll show it to you in a bit. Oh, yes, you will. Hi, Jane Doe. Thank you for coming. Well, last week I was trying to finish on the blanket, and then my thumb got swollen, so I had to go off one day and not do any crocheting or anything, and it went down. But I wanted to read out of this book, and let's see. Here we go. The Wellness Diet. Whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatever ye do, do all to the glory of God. 1 Corinthians 10:31. I have an unusual New Year's tradition. I literally jump into the next year by leaping off a stool. I think I read this one. Yes, I did. Here it is. It's God's good voice. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. John 10:27. When my son was 4 years old, he paid me an unusual compliment. You're my best mom, he said. Your voice sounds good. As I pondered his simple words, I reflected that I also love my mother's voice. I have often called her just to hear her reassuring voice on the other end of the line. The Bible says God's shepherd believers hear his voice and follow him. His voice should sound attractive because he is a good and loving father, a gentle shepherd, a faith-filled yoke follower. The longer I walk with the Lord, the more familiar his still small voice becomes. I hear it when my soul is overwhelmed and fearful. I hear it when I step out into his creations to see his glory. I hear it in the intimate moments, whether I confess something no human knows about me, and I hear him say, I love you. May I learn to listen well, and may my shepherd's voice be a delight to hear. Hi, Robbie. I wasn't sure if you were going to be here. I'm going to read this next one. Since I didn't read one last week, we're going to read that one also. Hi, Steel Skies. So good to see you. And Farm Wife, thank you for coming to my live today. Yes, all these beautiful people. But Homestead Possum Junction, thank you for coming. But I think I'm going to work on this a little more. This is a scarf that I'm making. Let's see if I can wiggle this out of here. This is, hi Joy Bartlett. This is the yarn bowl that Todd Laginus, which is at, I think it's LJ Woodworks. He turned this bowl for me. This is, I think this is walnut, maple, and the little pieces in there, I can't remember. He knows, but he did a segmented bowl for me. And we had talked on Brian at the Vineyard Farmhouse in the background, and I was going to pay him, but he wanted me to make a scarf for his wife, and that's what I'm doing. You know, it's really, this is some yarn that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. He wanted red and black. I know this has some pinks in it and other colors. Hi, Kim. No, you're not late. You're here when you need to be here. But yes, that's his link. He, instead of me paying him for it, he wanted something made by me. And then he also gave me this. There we go. It's like a, it kind of makes me think of a, not a snowman, but a ghost. That's what it looks like to me. Thank you, Jane Doe. That this is so cute. And you would think this is just painted on, but no, there is holes there. He drilled holes into where the eyes and the mouth is. But the reason I went early is so that I could work on this a little more and get this beautiful scarf done. And but Nancy taught me how to do this. It's called high-low. And what you do is you do a single crochet in one, and then you do a double crochet in the next one. And you just keep going back and forth doing that. Wow, 19 people already in here. But yeah. It's just such a new way. Hi, Ruby at Rushing Wind Mountain. Thank you for coming. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit that there. But yeah, we've been kind of working on getting these different things done. And now, because this one was a double, I'm just going to be putting a single there. And the next one I do a double crochet. And a single. Hi, Todd. I'm working on this. It's getting longer. Now, make sure, everybody, you connect with LJ Woodworks, Todd Laginus. He is the one that made this beautiful. Now, Todd, what is that wood? I keep forgetting it. Looks like a wine cup. It was called, oh, I'm trying to think what the name of this was called. I think it's strawberry. Well, let me see. Jane Doe just did. I'm gonna see if I know how to do this. Pin message. There we go. I just pinned it so that you guys can go up there. Thanks, Jane Doe. It's such a beautiful, beautiful bowl that you're welcome, Todd. I went to the post office and got the box that he had sent me, and it was like, oh my goodness. Yes, it is a variegated. I can show you this. This is the next one I'm going to be using to put that. Basically, what I did is I put in black and red yarn. And of course, this is what came up with Hobby Lobby. But the thing is that the picture that they put on there did not show me that there was pinks in it. So I sent Todd a picture of it so he could see what it really looked like. And so this is, once I get this to 6 foot, I honestly think that Hobby Lobby really has some beautiful yarn, and it's called I love this. It's called I Love This Yarn. She did. She loved it. That is so good. And it's, to me, it's not a real overpowering pink color. Yes, I do. Homestead Possum Junction. Yes, I find that I use 2.5 gallon Ziploc bags, and I like it in the balls because of putting it in here. It just makes it a whole lot easier. And as I'm, like when I first started this, if I pull out a skein, out of the middle of a skein, it would get tangled up. I'll wait till the 30 minutes is done on this, and I'm just going to work on. Yeah, this is the pattern on this is double, single. And you just keep going back and forth between those. And it kind of gives this really strange high-low pattern. I've prepped Fraternity Homestead. I was looking for that one. Thank you for coming. Such a supporting friends and let's see here. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I will. Tammy, I'll definitely look at your email when I get done here. Let's see. I was a bit late. No, that's what am I making? Uh, Todd Laginus or LJ Woodworks. He made me this beautiful yarn bowl, and instead of me paying him for it, he asked me to make his wife a scarf. So that's what I'm doing. And Nancy was nice enough to teach me how to do this thing called high low. It is. We're basically in a way just bartering. So I just thought, hey, I'll do this and you guys can watch me make this now. See, now with this one, you're doing a double and then a single. It ended on a single, then you do the double. That's right. So hard to trying to pay attention to what I'm doing and talking at the same time kind of gets a little bit hard. Here. That's not right. Down too far. Oh wow. I've got some cotton yarn of Christmas colors that I need to start making all of those scrubbies out of that and I'm gonna get the. I think I'm gonna get the blanket out. Oh, wow, Chris Smith. Yeah, you would kind of have to learn from someone that is left-handed. I'm of course not. Let me show you. This blanket is finally finished. Now let's see if I can do this. But what this blanket was a Nancy taught me how to do the rectangular granny square. This is the middle section, and as you go around and you get back to the section that you started at, you have to flip this and go back the way you just came. Well, let me come back here. Oh, yeah. This is the blanket that's going to go to Mike and Terry. It fits the size of the top side of a queen size bed. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. Now I can hold it up here and you guys can see this thing. It is like, oh my goodness. Yeah, this is the blanket, and it will be probably shipped out Tuesday to Mike and Terry. I started working on this on the 3rd of August, and I finished Saturday morning. Thank you, everyone. All I know is didn't even take me a month to finish this thing. I'll set that over there. The yarn I picked up at Joann's when they were clearancing them out. Thank you, Jane Doe. It's gonna be really nice, and usually I've got this bowl sitting in another bowl. Usually yarn bowls have this, but I find because they did not sand and make this smooth in there, it started fraying the yarn. So I asked him not to do that. And I just pull it across the top. Around the edge. Oh, definitely. And then this is another yarn bowl that someone sent to me. To me, this color here makes me think of the so let me see here. The single crochet here. Yes, Possum, they have already started carrying big twist yarn. I've already seen at the Michaels that we have here that big twist is there. And on a, oh gosh, I got something in the mail from Michaels, and it also had Joanne, the name Joanne's on there too, that I can get, I can buy something and get 60% off with that, one item. So that kind of makes it really nice. And then of course when you buy things at Michael's, they put points towards where you can get like $5. And I've already got that coupon also. So that'll definitely help me. I need to find some scrubby type yarn. It certainly is, because they're basically giving back to the people that buy things from them, and it definitely helps out. Oh, it certainly was, because what I ended up doing on my channel is I posted up on my my post page so that people could go over there and watch that, because it was so very interesting to watch him, make the segmented wood and all of that stuff, and watch him basically be able to turn this beautiful bowl. Hi, Virginia Alexander. Thank you for coming. I'm working on making a scarf for Todd Lajeunas's wife, for him making this beautiful yarn bowl for me. So I now have, this is a 7-inch. This one here, this one's a 9-inch. What I ended up doing is, I don't know if Todd knows this, but at the senior center, I got some felt that I put that down inside of the bowl so that they're not scratching against each other. It makes it nice. So that felt sits down inside of there. Joplin. Oh, I know where Joplin, Missouri is. Tulsa. Yeah, I now have a Michael's and Hobby Lobby. I used to have Joann's here, but Joann went out of business. And, I think that's such a great idea, being able to use, that felt that, I'm just not sitting this bowl down inside of another bowl and scratching it. And it just makes things a whole lot nicer. Hi, Auntie Jan. In fact, she is the other person that I'm going to be using this yarn to make her a hat out of this yarn. So I'm going to have to go get some more of it. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Let's get up here. Oh my goodness, my favorite number's up there, 26. Thank you everyone for coming today. I just wanted to thank Todd for making this beautiful bowl and giving me a chance to learn a new stitch. Just learning a whole bunch of new things. Nancy is out in the chat. Her family is cooking probably right now. So that's why nobody's up here with me. It teaches me how to even talk and do this too. It is just so beautiful. Hi, Money Pit Homestead. Thank you for coming. But this was so beautiful, and it has a nice, even this one has a pretty good weight to it. This of course was made by a company, and not sure, they don't tell you what kind of wood it is. See, there's Nancy. I'm in the background. Yep. Yes, you are. That's okay. Let's see here. Okay, that was there's one other thing that, see this little tag here? That this tells me that when I'm on that side that I start with a double crochet. No, today I decided to go early. Um, Usually I go at 2 o'clock, but today, because I was showing the blanket and working on this, I wanted to go a half hour early. That was the reason I did that, and be able to. Let's see. So that's single, double. Yeah, it kind of makes things. That's Nancy was nice enough to set this live up for me, and because Ronald likes to get on the computer and it's not right. So double. Oh, that sounds yummy, Virginia. Here. Hi, Delighted Acres, like your yarn bowl. I got a Kelly at Ceramic Yarn Bowl, our first anniversary. I I was thinking about getting a ceramic one, but then I started thinking about the cats and the dogs and all of that, and made the choice not to get a ceramic one and getting wood instead. This one, this one here, I got at Joann's when they were going out of business, and this one, I wish I could remember who sent this one to me, but this is another yarn bowl that I someone gifted to me. It was the first time that I'd ever had a yarn bowl before. Let's see here. That's a double. I feel like I made a mistake. Okay, there we go. Okay, single. Double. Single. It, if you look at it, it just makes this high low go. It's And it's so easy. It gives a, it's a very nice texture to it. You're right. It, to me, it kind of looks like these little berries or these little flowers. It's such a um, nice texture to it. Oh, here comes my dog. You're good. I have it's a black lab mix. Both of them are black labs. Very big dogs. Both of them are over 100 pounds. Hello, Denver. There's my boy. He's telling me he needs to go to the bathroom, and I know. Can you rest for a little bit? Go rest. Go rest. Go rest. Rest. Relax, Denver. Good boy. Oh, yes, James does keep us all spiritually fed. For you guys that haven't seen this, Todd Laginus sent this to me. And I thought this was painted on, so I felt it, and I felt that he drilled holes in there and I guess put black paint in there. So, Todd, what kind of wood was this? I loved that little edge of dark that was left on there. And he painted it this kind of shiny paint. It is so cute. I don't, oh, you don't know. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Next reading I'm going to do now is Living How We Ought. For the grace of God that bringeth salvation hath appeared to all men, teaching us that, denying ungodliness and worldly lusts, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world, looking for that blessed hope and glorious appearing of the great God and our Savior Jesus Christ. Titus 2:11 through 13. When we look at the world around us, there are many messages telling us how we ought to live. Do what makes you happy. Some cry, do what makes others people happy. Others shout. The competing voices in our culture can make us feel tossed in the waves of popular opinions and worldly wisdoms. Sometimes it's hard to know where to turn our eyes, where we should focus. Paul answers this very question when he told Titus how the saved should live in light of God's grace. The unmettered gift of salvation should motivate us to turn away from ungodliness and live measured, righteous lives in Christ. And as we do, we look toward to a great hope, the day the trials of this life are over and our risen Savior returns to make all things new. It is, I have found that reading this book has really brought me a lot of joy. And it has changed my heart. You know? Fogwoods found on ground. That's a good one. That is a really good one. I My mother, before she passed away, we had a, as I call it, a silver maple. Some people call it a soft maple, but I call it a silver maple. The underside of the leaves are a silver color. And silver maples are a soft maple, but they're still kind of a hard wood. But I had the company that was cutting down the tree for us, I asked for about a 5 to 6 foot length of a branch. So I ended up taking that branch in a truck that I used to have up to the Amish community that's about 30 minutes from our home. And the mill company milled it. And then I took it over to a woodworking place to have them make me a corner bathroom base. I did not want doors put on it. So when I asked him to mill the wood, I wanted it milled to the size of a true 2x4. Of course, once you plane it, I wanted them at 2x4, but they shrunk more than that. And I had some pins made by Jerry at Butler Family Farm. My brother also had a set of those made. And I had someone else, I was going to have the Amish make that corner base because I have a corner sink that goes in my bathroom. And it has these 45s on it, and then that sink sits on that base. And it's open. You can see the pipes. And I don't mind that, because then the heat gets in there and you don't have frozen pipes, because I do live in a modular home. And I had that base made, and it's now installed in my bathroom, from a tree that was outside of our home. And then I had one more piece of wood left. And my brother and I have these, I'm not sure if I have a picture of it on here. Let me check. Let's see here. There is a called Sawdust Studio that they make different things. Before I knew about Todd, trying to see where is that picture? There it is. This is a thing that you, okay, turn it. It is a thing that you roll your feet on. And he's making 4 of those for my brother and I. I'm going to have 2, and my brother's going to have 2. And that is the last of that lumber from that branch on that tree. So that's what we're going to have, and it helps your feet to relax and massages your feet. So that's what he's making for us. I wish I'd waited to see if Todd. Yes, it will be wonderful to roll, because all I have is that one, to roll my feet on. It feels so good. It's kind of like getting someone to massage your feet. Yes, it will, Kim. It certainly will. But certainly will, Kim. But let me show you that blanket again. There's some people in here that weren't in here when I showed it. Okay, come here. This is where it started. Is that this middle section. Let me see if I can find where it started. It was right there. This area right here is where you start, and then you just keep going around until it's finished. Yep, that's the blanket. Tell you, this thing is heavy. So yeah. Oh my goodness. Just that is for Mike and Terry at MT Homestead. I'm and of course Nancy was the one that taught me that's called a rectangular granny square. So yes, that will be heading to Mike and Terry. And they're gonna probably put it in their travel trailer. And be able to. Now, if Jane Doe, if you can put in, oh, what's that channel's name? Was that comes after me at 3:00. Oh, Blue's talking to me now. It is. I went over to a friend's house, Verlencia's house, and I wanted to see how big this thing was. And she has a queen size bed, and it didn't quite go over the edge of the queen size bed or the length, but it'll be a perfect size for their couch and stuff like that. They'll both be able to get up underneath that blanket. I think it's Simple Acres Homestead will start their live at 3:00, and I'll usually probably end this before that happens, so you can go over to Simple Acres Homestead. So Jane Doe, if you want to put their link in, that would be nice, and people can go over there. And they're up in Canada. I don't know what part, but that's where they're at. And then I think after that is Hippie Calier. I don't know if they will be. And then I think it's Money Pit Homestead. And then after that is the Wild Huckleberry. And then Dyer Family Farm. And then Red Dirt Rooster Road after that. But I think there's one that they're not going to be going live. Yeah, Simple Acres Homestead is at 3:00. Oh, we won't be going live today. Hopefully, Ryan. Okay, yes, that's what I was thinking. Is that Ryan at Farm to Table will be taking your spot this time because you're going to be at your church. Oh wow! I think I'm going to read one more in here, and then the lone seagull. Be sober and vigilant because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. 1 Peter 5:8. A few years ago, my family took a beach vacation to Florida. One morning, I took in a beautiful panorama from the balcony of our condo. The reflection of the blue green water and waves crashing on the white sandy shoreline, the swaying palm trees, and the jabbering of seagulls all fought for my attention and delighted my scenes. Just then I noticed a lone seagull hovering in the air at a distance behind a colony of seagulls flying in V formation. Had it been late in joining the group, or I wondered, was it rejected by others, or did it want to be the leader and refuse to fall in line? Whatever the reason, this seagull was on a solo flight. As believers, we may sometimes feel as if we are flying solo, but there is strength in numbers. Flying alone can be a liability. We can find protection and strength in God and his people. We must keep watch for Satan's attempts to undermine God's purpose in our lives. And the safest place to do that is in Christian community. God grants us strength in numbers. He certainly does. Kind of it as you see here, I've already read all of these. I want to kind of catch up to where I can start reading this book again. But everyone, thank you for coming today. My throat's starting to, and I did not get water to drink. I'm going to go ahead and end this live and go over to Simple Acres and give them some love. Yes, and Dyer Family Farm and all of those. Now, the Wild Huckleberry won't be going live today, but Farm to Table potentially may be there instead at 6 o'clock, 6 or 7. I think it's 6. And get to know these people because we're kind of the homesteader on Sunday, and these people have supported me and I want to support them. And thank you, Todd, so much for this beautiful yarn bowl. And I'll probably have this scarf done probably this week and get that shipped to you. Thank you all for being here today. And we will see you next Sunday, which will be next month. And everyone be blessed. Have a great day.